up? What's happening, everybody? My name is Charles Blades, and this is the #1 Paul Was Robbed podcast on the internet. Aaron, that was fucking bullshit, dude. Ruined a whole season that was already shit.
That was hands down the most, like, just annoying thing I've watched in quite some time.
It
like,
was infuriating.
As soon as they pulled Mark's key, I knew. Like, my fucking heart just dropped.
So did Paul. Wow. Paul knew, and I I thought...
Watching his reaction was so painful.
Heartbreaking. Can you tilt your camera up a little bit? It's like cutting off the top of your head really bad. But fucking just the reaction from him was like, and I understood where they were coming from with the bullying stuff. I totally agreed with that. That was fine.
Yeah, no, he did that a little
but
bit.
Like still that fucking like when he was like not again, not again, not again. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah, that was bad. And then
Dan was happy.
Josh was literally just a tool the entire time. So, like, and I don't mean that as like Josh is a fucking tool. I mean, like, he was literally just a weapon for the other players in the game.
Oh yeah. He was a meat shield for Paul.
Yeah, like he made it there because other people carried him there as
the only reason. I think Paul made two iffy mistakes. He obviously didn't do jury management well. He fucked that up. But I will contend on season 14, everybody was saying you have to own up to your game. You got to tell them what you did. You know what I'm saying? In season 14, that's exactly what Dan did, and he lost 6-1. So like whatever. But then the other mistake I thought is he probably should have taken Raven and Matt to the finals.
Yeah.
Because no one would have voted for them. But I understand where he's coming from, where they would have taken each other had he lost that third part of the HOH, and that's kind of a...
Also, to be fair, like, outside the house, it's easy to see, like, wow, these people are terrible, and, like, they would make the best weapons. But, like, for Paul, like... I don't see how in the house, without seeing everything that they do from an outside perspective, you would see Raven and Matt as...
I mean, they hated Matt and Raven. Well, at least Raven inside the house. Like, they hated her. Like,
I just mean, like... I feel like to them, they saw them as just like, wow, these people have to go because they're not good game players and they're annoying.
Yeah. And there has been some talk before in past seasons where it's like, if you bring... Like, Raven was terrible and, like, not good. And if you had brought Raven to the end, the whole jury would have just like been like, "Fuck you! You took the easy way out." So like, that has been talked in past years. So.
See, and people are talking so much shit about jury management, and like, it's true he didn't do a very good job, but like, they were bitter as fuck, and I feel
it was so bad.
I feel like he would have lost against at least half that house if he had taken him to the end, just because nobody wanted Paul to win.
I think the only people he would have beat in the end are the only person he would have beat in the end maybe is Alex.
Maybe I don't even know about that, just because
she was the bitterest.
Yeah, she really was.
Oh my god, she was the bitterest. All right, so this is a video game podcast where we talk about the digital art of video games. I'm joined today by Aaron Weeks. How's it going, man?
Great. Sorry about that water.
Cheyenne Clark. How's it going?
Hello.
And my co-host David Morgan. How's it going, buddy?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. So we got a cool show for this week when we're talking about some Steam stuff, some 2K news. But first, you all right, bud? You're red as fuck now.
Yeah, I was joking.
But first, we're going to be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, which apparently has some kind of news coming out for it on September 28th.
How do we know that it's for Red Dead Redemption 2?
I feel like
what if it's a Red Dead Redemption 1 port
on Switch, bro?
That'd be
fun. That's what I'm saying.
It's not.
That's what I'm saying.
If it was, like, I think, like, I don't know, Rockstar might not have like 80 million concurrents on GTA at all times. Like, people would boycott. No, I'm just kidding. But this announcement comes from Rockstar's Twitter, in which just basically on September 22nd they posted a screenshot that says Thursday, September 28th at 11 a.m. We assume this is going to be Red Dead Redemption 2 news of some sort. I assume we get another trailer, maybe a release date
story
or
trailer.
Closer
I hope
window.
that they. Do you remember in the first game the trailers they had with that narrator guy, and he would like talk about all the game mechanics and be like, you can form a posse with your friends and go around the Wild West, and every trailer was like its own like kind of like expose for different aspects of the game. I followed the shit out of this. I hope they do something like that for the second game, but I don't know if it'll get that in depth.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Cheyenne, what do you think this is?
I mean, I assume it's just going to be some kind of trailer. Hopefully a release date, like a solid release date. I know that it was delayed to spring 2018, but having like an actual day to look forward to would be great. I'm actually pretty excited for this game itself, even though I didn't play Red Dead Redemption, but I absolutely would if I had like
Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption is one of those games where it's like like some games, like you go back to them, like Kingdom Hearts, or not
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts maybe, but like you go back to them and it's like
Kingdom
this doesn't
Hearts.
this
Yeah,
doesn't control right. This feels weird and like kind of
Yeah.
strange. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes
Red Dead
sense.
is one of those games where like as it's gone on, it's gotten more praise. I feel like it's like become like bigger. Aaron, what do you think this news could be?
Kind of the same thing. It's probably just a trailer. I think they're really excited about launching dual wield fucking revolvers apparently, because they've got that in 2 of the 7 screenshots.
Really?
One is literally just 2 revolvers,
Yeah.
like it's just a close up of the 2. So I expect to see some dual wielding.
Halo 2 was great.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, it's probably just a trailer, maybe a release date, but I doubt it.
All right, so you're saying no release date.
Yeah, probably not.
David, are you saying release date or release
I'm
window?
saying release date, and then
What's
at
the release
end-
date then? Give me an exact date.
What did they say the window was again?
Spring 2018 is what they've said.
April.
April 7th.
All right, what are you saying, Cheyenne?
Is that a Friday? I gotta like look on.
I don't know. I don't even think that that's like a Tuesday. I think I
I
just
don't know.
picked a random.
April
Yeah,
7th
Tuesday. That's right.
is a Saturday, so I would be bold. to do the first
Okay.
first
Bold
game ever
choice.
released on a Saturday.
April 3rd.
I'd
Put it
say
on the third.
sometime in April too. Maybe later in April, like the 4th Tuesday of April, 2018.
The 4th Tuesday is April 24th.
24th.
I'm gonna say
I'll go with that.
we get a new window of summer 2018,
Oh my
Probably.
god.
and
Don't
then
do
push it
that.
back a little more.
Don't
And-
even
That
put
too.
the idea
And
out there.
if we do get a date, I would bet it'll be June 8th. Will be the new date.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. So Red Dead 2 coming at you with some hot news in the near future. We'll be talking about that next week. The next story we have here is about a fight between PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Fortnite. If you don't know PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, then what the fuck are you doing? But if you don't know Fortnite, it's what would I call it? It's like a horde mode kind of
It's like an
survival game.
everything game. There's
Yeah.
too many
Yeah,
fucking
there's
things
so
going
many.
on.
free to play game from Epic, which like to be fair, I haven't played it or anything like that. It doesn't look like a game for me, but it has a fan base for sure. Like it's doing like I think
It's
doing
free to
well.
play, but it's in early access, and you can buy into. the
Yeah,
early
it's really
access.
weird, but like I think there is like a fan base there. I think I would say.
Yeah, I'd say so. The community's small, but they're pretty passionate.
Well, they are in a bit of a kerfuffle with Bluehole Games, the developer of.
Keep calling this a fight. I don't know if I would go ahead.
I mean, it is
mostly a
one person
one-sided
getting
thing.
mad. Yeah.
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 But so basically, they released a update to their game, which is essentially battle royale mode from PUBG, which is just 100 people and the wall closes in with some of the mechanics from Fortnite, like you can set traps and stuff like that.
And
It's the
build
only
forts and shit.
the only differentiator, and like the game looks like a cartoon, not like a fucking creepy like stoic
Unity
fucking-
asset store
yeah.
game.
Yeah. But Bluehole responded to them releasing this update by saying, "We've had an ongoing relationship with Epic Games through PUBG's development, and they are the creators of Unreal Engine 4, the engine we licensed for the game. After listening to growing feedback from our community and reviewing the gameplay ourselves, we are concerned that Fortnite may be replicating the experience for which PUBG is known for. We also noted that Epic Games referenced PUBG in the promotion for Fortnite in their community and communications with the press, and this was never discussed with us, and we don't feel right about it." So yeah, they're throwing shots fired from PUBG saying, "Don't steal our shit." Aaron, how you feel about this?
I think it's fucking stupid. Like that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, so I don't know what the very first platforming game was, but does that mean every other platformer after that is somehow beholden to the one that came before it?
I would have been great. I'd like to go back in like old EGMs and be like, if Pitfall was like yelling at Nintendo for fucking
Like that's so fucking stupid. That's so ridiculous. It's like
You can't copyright a genre.
yeah,
It's not how it
that's
fucking
what
works.
the industry is. Like it's iterating on top of other things that already exist. Like that
Mhm.
doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
Cheyenne.
I,
are you feeling
I
the same
agree
way?
with that. It is a little bit weird that they mentioned like Battlegrounds when they were talking about like creating this mode, but at the same time, like they don't own the battle royale like game type, so I don't know. It seems really stupid to call them out on it. Like they're just trying to come up with things that would work well in their game. They already have a zillion other things going on in their game anyway, so I don't know.
Yeah, my favorite development of this story is not only is PUBG a mod of a different game. Like spurred off from a mod of a different game.
It's not. Yeah.
It also isn't the first game of this genre.
Yeah.
H1Z1 did this exact same thing with the
Well,
King of
you
the
could
Kill mode.
also.
I was about to say there was also
we did
Daisy.
develop.
Oh, and
It's-
like
Player
what?
Unknown developed the H1Z1 mod and the Arma 3 mod.
Well, wait, but King of the Kill did this before Player Unknown, right? Like that was.
King of the Kill came out pretty sure after the H1Z1. Not sure about that.
I don't know, but like either way, this is like dumb.
Dream scenario here.
Dreams.
Give Epic a fucking reason, Player Unknown. Give them a fucking reason. Take them to court and lose your fucking Unreal license, please. That's my fucking dream scenario. Because this is the most
Why?
bullshit. Like, they just beat around the bush. They might as well have just said, "We're afraid of competition. Please don't make your game like this."
Yeah, that's like
You're
baffling.
the underdogs.
kinda.
You've sold more fucking copies
Yeah.
of your game on Steam than anyone has.
In
Why are
early
they
access.
scared?
Get the fuck over yourselves. You
Yeah.
are the top dog. You should be like bathing in this praise and bathing in these like references to your game that people are iterating on. And you should be the fucking good guys saying, "Yeah, we would love to see more experiences like this. We welcome this with open arms." You are going to be number one for as long as anybody can tell. Like, Fortnite is not going to overtake PUBG in the fucking Steam rankings. It's not even on Steam. It's through like the Epic launcher or something. So
Yeah,
it's so frustrating.
yeah.
The
It's
Culling did this first too.
It's so yeah. Well, you mentioned it. You mentioned it through earlier, but also this week, Battlegrounds passed Dota 2 as the #1 played game or #1 game for concurrence on all time on Steam, which is a big milestone in itself. But is even crazier when you think that Dota 2 is a free to play game. Which, like, yeah, Dota 2 is like a little harder to get into probably, but like Battlegrounds is $30. I feel like that's harder than fucking not knowing how to play something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, the VP of Bluehole, Chang Han Kim, did say they were contemplating further action, when you alluded to, David, and they might
Get
take
the
them to court,
fuck
which is absurd.
Outta here.
'Cause
Where
you're
were they
ga-
when GTA did it? Where
you're-
were they when GTA released their
GTA's
player?
game mode #1 sucks. #2 is kind of different, if I'm being honest, because it's a lot more vehicle based
I get, yeah.
and like team based. But
It's also
also,
only like 4v4. Isn't it, or
where
60?
were you when fucking the whole Hunger Games series did this? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's really fucking dumb. Yeah, it's very dumb. This next story we have here is about GameStop and how they're shady as fuck, and they're selling Nintendo Switch consoles through you have to buy a warranty or buy like an extra controller, or
A
something,
fucking
like some
Hot
kind-
Topic knickknack.
yeah,
lamps.
some kind of bundle in order to get your Switch. Which we don't have to talk about this much, but like GameStop does this shit and it's fucking gross. Fuck GameStop.
I was about to say that's like not
Yeah.
new. They've been
Well, no,
doing
it's not
this
the it's not the
for-
company. It's some of the stores doing it, right? Because it looked like
Yeah, I mean
the
the stores are doing it because the companies put sales quotas on them. I think that's
Yeah.
why they do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like fucking. This is not
That's
a
not
very.
gonna work for long. The Switch isn't gonna be unavailable for much. I mean, it's already getting stocked. I saw like
It's getting stocked
10
more
of
and
them in
more,
Best Buy the other day.
Yeah, it's getting stocked more and more, which is good. And that's good. But this is another reason why we always like to harp on Nintendo for their short supply of like things like the NES Classic and the SNES Classic. Jesus Christ. Pete has some things to say about the understocking of Switch.
Just walked up and slapped my mic.
But this is just another reason why this shit has to stop, because third parties and like middlemen in between getting this stuff to the consumer fucking always fuck this shit up.
You think they'll do this with the SNES Classic when it comes back?
Oh, I'm sure they
It'll
do
be
that all the
understocked?
time. Like you have to buy fucking a Piranha Plant fucking mug to buy it. and enjoy it
Well,
for
they said that
$40.
they said they were sending it a minimum of 20 to every Target store.
I mean, 100% this will happen with the SNES Classic. This happens with everything. I remember I worked at GameStop for a year and a half, so maybe call me bitter if you want. But like it was when the GameCube adapter came out. They forced you to buy 4 GameCube controllers with the adapter
Oh my
in order to
god!
get it. And I was
Like you don't already own one.
like that's the point of the fucking adapters, that I have GameCube controllers.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's
It
disgusting.
was, yeah, it's gross. Stuff
That's
like that is
really
really
dumb.
gross. This next story we have here is about Steam and their tweaks to user review scores. So basically, if you don't know, Steam user reviews can often get a little dicey, like if a company is embroiled in a controversy of some sort.
Yeah.
Recently, we talked about last week. Oh, we didn't talk about this last week. The show just fucked up. Like
Yeah.
there's no show. It is all silent. Yeah.
You put in like cards like in silent films.
I thought about what I really thought about doing was being like, "Hey, what's up? This is CJ. I'm gonna narrate over our podcast as we
Let's
go
play
and just
it.
watch the whole thing." But like, it's also like an hour and a half, so like, I don't want to do that. And just be like, "Yeah, now we're talking about PewDiePie. Now we're talking about Destiny."
And that was a good episode. We
It
were all
was. It
together.
was a bummer. We had our friend Caleb on too. He'll never get to see the live day.
Good buddy.
But last week we talked about Firewatch from what's that game? What's that company called? Campo
Campo
Santo.
Campo Santo.
And
I always forget.
and because of that, a lot of PewDiePie fans and other racists Steam review bombed their game.
Really?
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
That's
got
fucked up.
they got flooded with hundreds, and this happens for other more
All the
maybe
time.
justifiable reasons too. Like I'm not saying it's always like people defending racism, but like it does also happen at other times. But Steam is basically trying to alleviate this with they're showing a histograph of where Steam reviews, like, so you can see at a certain point if like reviews plummet, then that might be why, and you can find that all out. At the end of the day, I kind of feel like it's like a half-ass solution. I don't know how you feel about that, Cheyenne.
Well, the thing that I think bothers me is that it looks like if you have like an activation key, like you can't write a review for it. So people that buy like humble bundles and they get like all sorts of like indie games, and you activate the keys for it, you can't write a review for it, even though like you did buy the game, you just didn't buy it directly on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that kind of, not that like tons of people get reviews anyway, but like, you know, like if I wanted to review a game that I had gotten from a humble bundle, I wouldn't be able to. Like I definitely think that like the like review bombs for stupid things, or like, you know, going after a company just by reviewing their game badly on Steam is really dumb, and I would like them to do something about it, but at the same time, like, it's hurting other people that may want to, you know, share their opinions on a game.
So going back to that yes, if you got a Steam key through Humble Bundle, that sucks. But I feel like the reason they're doing that is a lot of shitty games can just give out keys to people to rate their game really high, and like it comes to that. And so like I just think this whole thing is an example of Valve just being like, this is a problem that we could solve by hiring people and like having them do it, but we're just gonna like make a program to do all this shit and like not fucking care.
Sounds kind of like another place that fucked over a lot of people by having robots do people's jobs.
Who?
It rhymes with
YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
YouTube. Talking about YouTube.
Not
Fucked
even
up.
gonna-
I have an idea. I just thought of an idea for this.
Break
It's
it
not
down.
perfect, but
Break it
it's
down.
not.
Give me your
People want to do
idea.
it.
Come on, ideas,
Here's-
man. Come on.
here's my
Come
idea,
on,
guys.
Save.
Ready?
Come on. Come on.
Hire
bud.
me. Get ready to hire me, Valve. All right.
I was
So
smoking a cigarette, but I was trying to yeah, never mind. Aaron didn't know. Aaron looked at me like I was a fucking madman.
Because all I could hear was you just yelling over David, like, "Ah!"
I get what you're going for. So what you could do is you have this system where, I mean, it's already there. You rate reviews like, was this helpful or not? Kind of like Amazon. And then, you know, you say yes, no, or it's funny. I guess because that's something that happens. A lot of people put joke reviews in.
I love joke reviews.
They're funny, yeah, sure, but
Amazon
you
joke
could have
reviews are funny as fuck.
you could have like a system where if you write a review and it gets rated highly and you keep doing that, your review gets weighted. So like people who review a lot of games and put in helpful reviews, their reviews count more towards the positive average than people who just go and spam reviews for shit and they just want to like have a soapbox first. You know, like, so you'll have like users that are like kind of curated by the community as the critics or the more like contributing to the, you know,
Yeah.
economy of reviews and games based
Yeah.
on how helpful they are when they do review.
That's a
It's not
little bit what
perfect,
it's like
but-
on Amazon too, where, you know, if you make a lot of reviews and they're rated highly, like you show up as like a critic.
Yeah,
And that
something
goes
like
into the like the I think Steam you can't review a game if you don't buy it, right? Like, I don't
Right.
think that's
I don't think so.
because so they're all
You
like
don't own it.
verified reviews. or
You'd think
whatever.
that would fix the problem, but no. I thought it would help a lot, but it
No.
actually. It's,
Aaron, do you have any strong opinions on this?
You mean just like Steam's the way they handle the situation, or just the
The
issue is.
whole thing.
I mean, it seems
Break
like for
down
people
reviews for me.
not going to do that, but it seems like for people to go on and like take the time to review bomb something, it just seems like really petty and diminutive to video game journalism as a whole. Like, why? Especially since, I mean, obviously, it's probably not all of them are going to be like video games journalists, but they're probably just like angry people that want to fuck shit up. But I don't know. It just, I guess I'm not super familiar with that side of things, but it's just shitty that it happens at all. And hopefully we get some kind of fix.
User reviews are bullshit anyway. They should never actually be trusted. Just look at Metacritic;
Yeah.
they suck.
User reviews suck. They're also very
Nobody knows what they're talking about.
very funny. Yeah. So this next story, I'm skipping a story, and we're going to what got announced at Sony's TGS press conference. Throwing you guys an audible. So basically, Sony had a press conference at TGS, the Tokyo Game Show. It's kind of like it's the biggest show in Japan, obviously, but also they do kind of like an E3 style press conference. They talked about blah blah blah. Final Fantasy 15 is getting a slim console. Slim. Oh,
I heard it actually looks pretty
Wait.
cool.
It's selling well. I don't even know what this story is.
This
Nice.
this
Great
says
journalism.
2016.
Oh, this is fucking.
This
I
is
was
the
like,
year.
yeah, I was like reading it. I
I
fucked
was
this
like,
all up.
what? Neo
Alright.
and Nier Automata?
I know. I was
Automata?
so confused.
They're coming out.
TGS
I was like, woo.
2017.
This
Can't
time
wait.
last year,
Sony recap.
Yeah.
You guys fucking
Like, wait a
vamp for
minute.
me. Vamp for me when I find this thing.
Anticipated exclusives.
DGS kind of let me down this year. I guess I don't know what to expect from it usually, but I want like it's like a Japanese E3, but things never get announced that I'm like, yeah. Like the
I don't
coolest thing that
remember
happened this year was we
anything
got
from
a fucking Monster Hunter World release date, which was cool. Like it comes out in like January, I think.
All right, so we can start now. All right, so first game that got announced was Square Enix Left Alive, which is a survival action shooter, which like that is all the genres. So like
Metal Gear.
That's fine.
Metal Gear.
Yeah.
X.
But yeah, it looks kind of cool. Monster Hunter World got a release date of January 26th, which is
Let's
a week.
go.
Which is a week or two after Ni no Kuni, so like, who cares? Shadow of the Colossus PS4 got a new trailer that looks really cool. The biggest thing I thought was Final Fantasy 9 got released on PS4, and it was like one of those like it's available now.
And you can go download it now. Yeah.
Zone of the Enders got a VR mode in it. I don't even know what Final Fantasy NT is. What even is that, David?
I'm not sure.
Just another thing Square Enix is working on that's never going to come out.
Yeah, whatever.
Why do they keep milking this bullshit Final Fantasy 15 universe? Just fuck off.
People
I'm so
like
tired
it.
of seeing Noctis on everything.
Dragon's
Yep.
Crown is coming to PS4.
Cool.
Blah
Play that.
blah blah. I don't care about that. This cat game is coming to VR, which is very much like what was the cat game that was on mobile?
It is the game.
Oh, is it
Nico-
that
Oh,
game? It
is
looks
it?
exactly
That
like that.
Yes, it's getting a VR game.
Nico Atsumi. Is
See,
that
we
what
needed
it's called?
Caleb on this episode because he actually played that.
Natsume.
I played it too. It's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Oh, really? I wish I
Yeah.
had.
Cute as shit.
Alright, well,
It's
yeah.
still on there, I think.
So that's coming. That's
That's
the biggest announcement. That was the
Yeah,
and one more thing kind of announcement from this. I feel like.
that's
Yes.
cute.
So yeah, that's coming to VR. I thought the biggest thing, obviously, I said was Final Fantasy. I think David, you care about Monster Hunter. That Left
Monster
Alive
Hunter-
game looked interesting.
I'm gonna
Um,
need to see more about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see more
Right.
about it. But
I like mechs. I'd be into it.
It's got the
Yeah,
art
it's-
designer, the character designer from Metal Gear Solid.
yeah,
so
we
all
didn't
the-
talk. I didn't talk. It's yeah. So it's and then it's also somebody that worked on the or Square has the license to the fuck. What is that?
Oh, the universe of
Oh fuck. God damn it.
I thought it
Shit.
was in this article.
The,
being
like,
directed
so
by
it's being
Armored Core
directed by
director.
the Armored Core director, and then
Yes.
Square has the license to fucking what the fuck is it? It's not MechWarrior. Fuck.
Am I stupid?
I'm
Wasn't
on it.
Armored Core FromSoft? Or am I dumb?
It is.
Yeah. Oh man. Square.
I got it. Just you go. I got it.
All right. So Aaron, anything from this TGS excite you? Do you care about
Front mission.
anything? Front mission. Yes. Anything from this TGS excite you?
Not particularly. It's
Anything
just
you
not.
care about.
Maybe the Square Enix Mech Warrior thing. I already forget what it's called. That might be kind of cool. I'd be interested to check it out. But other than that, it's not that I disliked any of them. I'm just done particular grab me.
Cheyenne, besides the cat game, do you care about any of these?
I mean, I'll probably end up playing. David's gonna want me to. But other
Yeah,
than
you
that,
guys should
like,
all
I
play Monster Hunter
do
World
not
with
really care.
I forgot I would like to
Not
check
a-
that out as well.
I'm not into
Go.
Final Fantasy anything. That's
Final Fantasy's
nothing exciting to me.
Final Fantasy 9 is cool.
I might play 9. I've never played it. I've actually never played a classic Final Fantasy.
Well, this one, it's not even like it is a classic, but like it's like a fake classic.
Everybody says go play 7, but like I hear 9 is.
Well, seven, I would say is like the jump from like not classic to classic, and then Final Fantasy 9 is like a high
Oh,
fantasy
okay.
one.
Okay.
Like 7 and 8 are both sci-fi ones, whereas
Oh.
nine is like a go back to fantasy kind of thing.
I'm waiting for the remake of 7, so I'll be waiting until I die. but
The actual, I was about to say
the
they
like
put-
action RPG
Yeah, that
remake.
shit's
'cause
never
I fucking
coming out.
love those.
where
I-
it's too big to fit on one disc.
Yeah, it's also going to be episodic, so.
Yeah, that shit is trash.
Fuck me up, fam.
That shit's never coming out. This next story we have here is about the Xbox One and bringing back the original Duke controller.
I didn't know it was called the Duke.
Yeah, that was the original controller for the Xbox One. And I just want to talk about our memories of the original Xbox controller and how terrible it was. It was so bad, right?
That bad.
It's like top. And I also wanted to segue this into a conversation about like some of our favorite controllers, but this is like top 5 worst controller of all time.
Oh, that thing's a piece of shit. I couldn't remember until I looked it up just now. Like when I was little, that thing was so big that I like couldn't play games.
It's like, dude,
I had
it's
tiny child hands.
like it's the like people complain all the time the PS3 controller being a little too small. Like it is the exact opposite of that problem.
Mhm.
It
And
looks like a tiny spaceship.
Oh,
like
the
it should be a
fucking white and black.
The
buttons.
white and
Holy
black
shit,
buttons
what
were
they
literally on the
thinking?
handle. Like what the fuck was that?
It could have
Oh,
been bumpers.
It was so.
That was
bad.
before bumpers, though.
Mm-hmm. So I just
Yeah, it
want to.
was
I don't think this is the worst controller. I still think that that is held by the N64 controller, which is.
I
terrible.
agree with. I don't. Dreamcast controller is pretty shit too.
Dreamcast is bad, but like the N64 controller has 3 fucking handles.
Yeah,
Like,
why
what
does it have that?
It's
Or
gotta
not
be
an
bad.
octopus, dude. It's like so bad. Aaron, what is your least favorite fucking controller?
I'd have to. That one's a pile of shit. Other than that, like I can't remember. The 64 controller is objectively not good, but I love it just because like it was my childhood. Like
Yeah, it's
I felt so
nostalgia.
cool holding
You
that
have
fucking thing.
Stockholm syndrome with that fucking controller.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not a good controller, but it's definitely not as bad as the Xbox monstrosity.
Name your favorite controllers. Mine's the DualShock 4.
DualShock 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. I think like the SNES controller is really good.
Really? I mean, not by modern standards.
I mean, no, like I'm not fucking playing modern games on it. Like, yeah, I can't play Call of Duty on it,
Yeah.
but like for the time, it felt really good and how I had the curvatures and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I also really like the Xbox 360 controller. I think is fantastic.
Yeah, it was
Of
good.
course, that's a classic.
Yeah, that's a
I'll
great
vouch
one.
for the GameCube controller.
Oh, that's the thing
GameCube
I want.
controller was good.
The
yeah.
GameCube controller fucking sucks, dude. That shit
Nah,
is
this is
terrible.
You're wrong.
Everybody's like, the GameCube controller is like, you know how they sell fucking like keyboards that are like split in half, and they're like, this is more ergonomically friendly on your fucking hands and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're like keyboard. The GameCube controller is like that. It's like, yeah, maybe it should be designed like that, but it shouldn't be. Cause like, fuck that. It's terrible. I hate
don't know
The
what's wrong with
triggers
it.
on the
Not
GameCube
that-
controller were nice too, because it was like,
analog triggers. Oh, so good.
yeah, I was about to say I could be wrong, but I think it was one of the first
it
controllers
was-
that did that kind of thing, wasn't it?
I think it was the first analog trigger controller.
Also
Oh,
shout out
I don't like the GameCube.
to no, it's terrible. Also shout out to the DualShock 1 controller for being the first controller to have 2 joysticks. It's great. Underappreciated. The PSX controller with when you had to get it to play Ape Escape. Then this is the last story we have here is from NeoGaf, and I'm gonna go into a long, detailed rant about this. Not rant, but the fuck are you? I just looked at this.
Just dying of these fucking Xbox mock-up controller.
Dude, they're so crazy. Oh no, what is the game that you needed like a whole fucking like soundboard to control? Like,
Oh, it was a fucking mech game. My friend had that.
Ace
Oh,
Assault or
shit.
something like that is what I think it was. Oh man, red something.
I'll find it.
Oh fuck, what is that? That's a great
Steel
controller.
Battalion?
Steel Battalion, yes.
Yeah, he
You
had it
needed-
and his controller was fucked up. He's like, if you put your hand here, it'll shock you, so don't do that.
Like look up the Steel Battalion controller. That shit is
Oh my
fucking
God.
fantastic. Put that in the
Fun
chat.
though.
Yeah,
Here,
but
I got it.
so this is about NBA 2K, and their current ongoing debacle involving microtransactions. So essentially, NBA 2K18 has something in the game called virtual currency, which I know you guys don't play a lot of sports games, but like a lot of sports games have a mode in which you can basically you buy like baseball cards are a thing. So like you buy like a pack of baseball cards, at which point you can then
The loot box.
yeah, they're loot boxes essentially.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
they're exactly what it is. But you can also like, and then people sell the cards they buy like in game, and you can buy that with in-game currency too. And you normally can't buy that with what do you call it? Real money. Like normally, like when you can't buy them piecemeal real money, but you can buy the loot box with real money, if that makes sense. But
Okay.
NBA 2K18 kind of takes us to the next step, where the virtual currency system revolves. It like works around the whole entire game. So like it infects like modes like my GM and my player, which then like kind of just ruin those modes, because like the rate at which you earn virtual currency in game is like not enough for you to feasibly like play the game properly.
What does it unlock? What does it use?
Like basically, like all right, so the way like a sports career mode game works is like you're a basketball player, you have like a 3-point shooting skill and a dunk skill and a defense skill, and it's like an RPG.
Okay.
It's an RPG. Like imagine an RPG where you couldn't earn XP but you could buy it real money. That is what it is.
Ooh. Oh,
It is that. It is
Yeah.
that. It's like if you could buy if you could only buy Dark Souls real money, but like enemies didn't drop them like barely at all.
oh
Like
man,
that is what it is.
Yeah.
It is that.
The weird thing is, if this was any other game, nobody would defend it. Just 'cause it's a
Yeah,
sports
it's
game?
because it's a sports game. But then also like not only that, but also so it works for the RPG stuff, but it also works for like if you want to buy your player a haircut, it costs virtual currency.
God,
And it's like an
damn.
absurd amount of virtual currency, and you also don't get to preview what the haircut looks like on your guy. And
Oh,
it's like
no.
absurd stuff
What
like
the
that.
fuck
Like
are
next
you
level.
doing?
And like that's like a big part of the game. And then you're saying to me, CJ, well, I mean, like that, yeah, that all sucks, but it's only in the single player mode. No, you're wrong, because you can take your player, and then there's like a mode called My Blacktop where you can play pickup games with other people. And it's like you do 3-on-3 pickup games, and so like you'll go out there and like you start off rated 62. So it's like there's two people. There are people rated 65 to 70, and there's people rated 99. Like that are the only two segments of the community. Like when you play
Oh
My
my
Blacktop,
god.
and it's terrible. So rightfully so, I think the Sixth Axis gaming site gave the game a 3 out of 10, but then removed that score from the game after some talking to by 2K Games, in which they kind of disagreed, I guess, with the review score, particularly at the end of the review, where they said they were giving the game this kind of like in a protest, which the editor of the site later came out and said and gave I thought a good response as to why they did this, but still kind of like I understand where they're coming from, because they are a smaller site, and like it would suck to have to kind of lose their publisher, not support, but like industry
Oh yeah,
connections.
you can say support. I mean,
Industry connection. It's because it's not like the publisher
it's not
supported
paying them, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
that's a big deal. You get blacklisted by a publisher.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. So basically they did that, but then they have since put the review score back on there. But it just kind of goes to this whole thing. See, I reviewed NBA 2K 18. I gave it a 4 for this exact reason, because it
Good.
literally I played it right next to NBA Live, which doesn't have
When's that
this.
going up? Is that already up here?
No, it's not up yet. It comes out tomorrow, I think. But yeah, like I reviewed it Friday. I don't know why it's not up, but whatever. But this all happened. Yeah, so there's a lot of problems with this game, and I just kind of, I don't know. What is your take on this whole situation, David?
Fucked up. Fuck them, dude. That's terrible. You cannot use your position in the industry to go to a site, go to an outlet that gave your game a bad score and say anything about it. Even if, and I mean, Jim Sterling had a great video on this. Even if you're being friendly with them, like, hey, just wondering why you gave this a bad score, that's pressure. They know how quickly that can pivot from, hey, just checking in and expecting you to change it or to give them a response that they want, or else maybe they'll pull your availability to get their games to go on like the conferences showcasing their stuff, and then you're losing stories, you're losing exposure. It's fucked up. You cannot That's dishonest, and that's not how the game industry should work. And microtransactions are, especially this year, really getting to a breaking point. We've seen in like Shadow of War, like that was causing a lot of pause for people because that's essentially pay to win. That's pay to not grind, and that's what this game is doing as well. You cannot have a free to play economy in your fucking $60 AAA game. That's not how it should work. People need to be protesting this, and reviewers need to be addressing it. And I'm disgusted by all these reviewers not mentioning it. Like, this should be upfront. Like, the other games didn't have this. This game's better, but like, why are we now pivoting to
To be
this?
fair, other games have had this, just not to this level. Like, you used to earn like a couple thousand VC per game. Now you
Okay.
earn like 200.
Okay.
Like, it got dramatically
It's
worse.
much more egregious
Okay.
now, essentially. And it's very obvious what they're trying to do. And that should be a big talking point in the review. We need to be addressing this stuff.
And to be fair, a lot of reviews do address it, but like kind of don't like. Not that they don't factor it in their score, but like a lot of reviews address it, but the score is still like an 8 or 9 or something like that, which I understand.
I mean, I agree with the score. I think the success is. I mean, I understand the reason for pulling it, but I think that you should keep your score. And the publisher, if the publisher were to be like, yeah, we're not supporting your site, come out and say that. Then they're the fucking bad guy. Nobody's gonna want that mark on their reputation. That would be terrible for any developer who's being published by somebody, and then have them essentially, say, hey, fuck you journalists, we're not going to give you our game. Then that just creates this huge schisms. I don't think that they would do that, and I think they said that they weren't going to pull support for their site up front, essentially. But yeah, no, that's fucked up.
Cheyenne.
Yeah, I mean, I think I completely agree. And just there are a lot of reviews for games that have like issues like this that aren't necessarily tied to like the core gameplay. Like, it's not like the 3 out of 10 obviously isn't about the quality of like the basketball, but like I definitely think it's valid to give something a low score when it's like doing something like awful like this that you don't want them to do. Like, you should be able to say like, I don't think this is a good aspect of the game. And like I mean, I get why they would, like, other review sites would give it a higher score and say like, the game is good, but they've got this awful currency system. Yeah, I don't know. I wish that it wasn't always such a big deal for people to like call out shitty things happening in your game, and like having to be like, have 2K come after them and be like, hey, why are you reviewing it badly? What, I don't think that's cool. I don't think anyone should go after like a reviewer because they gave them a bad score.
Aaron.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, I feel like, to put it simply, like, microtransactions for anything but cosmetics are stupid. But I mean, back to the reviewing thing, it's like, I mean, it's all already been said. Like, it's dumb. They shouldn't be going after the reviewer. Should own up to the score and do what you can to fix the things that led to the bad review instead of attacking the reviewer.
Yeah, I'm about the same way. It's worth noting that every review I've done about a sports game has a good paragraph about how shady the microtransactions are in every sports game I review. But whatever, that's only going back like 2 years. Who cares? That brings us to the next segment of the podcast where we talk about what we've been playing for the week. As I talked about, I've been playing sports games like a bunch. I played NHL, FIFA, which is not out yet, but the embargo is not happening, right? Like, no, there's reviews up for it, so yeah, I can talk about that. And then both NBA games. To break it down, NBA 2K is fucking, like, the gameplay in it is fantastic. Like, animation wise and like player, like how the appearance of players is fucking fantastic. The VC stuff ruins the game. NBA Live, the animations and stuff aren't as good. I do like some of the improvements they made. I hope this adds a lot more competition in the basketball sim genre. But it's not as in-depth as NBA 2K, but it doesn't have the shitty VC stuff. FIFA is really good. The gameplay is a lot slower. The new journey mode is pretty cool from what I played from it. I didn't review it, so like I didn't play the whole thing. And then NHL, they introduced a new mode called Threes, which is pretty neat. It's like kind of arcadey, but they don't have a single player story like driven mode in their game, which like in this day and age you kind of have to have. So yeah, There's 4 sports games, fucking rapid fire for you. I just want to get those out of the way because no one gives a fuck. Yeah. Also been playing a bunch of Destiny. We're gonna do the raid tonight. Aaron's.
Hell yeah, dude! You guys ready? It's gonna be so difficult.
You guys are gonna get so mad. I can't wait.
It's gonna suck.
Aaron, your camera shut off. But yeah, it's gonna be a problem. Aaron, are you what are you rated? What are you rated? What's your light level? I'm 185.
292 on my Titan.
Sorry.
But I think we will be fine. The worst part is going to be this pug, because like
we have to get one of our for you guys listening. One of our friends is essentially doing something today, so this is our raid day. But we're only going to have 5 people, so we have to go and find someone to fill his spot, and they're probably going to suck because
what does pug mean?
Pickup group, or people use it to just refer to anybody that's being brought on randomly, essentially. So we're gonna have a stranger. It's gonna be
I don't like
interesting.
I will be muting
you. Yeah, you don't like talking to.
And
you cannot mute them. You have to. We all have to communicate. You cannot.
Do not. I don't like when we break up into twos. I will never be on their team.
It's like legitimately gonna be less fun because of that. Like I'm not looking forward to that.
I refuse to play with
Tell Caleb to get his shit home.
Also, that's another thing. Well, all right, well, that should be the topic of the show. Is like your friends fucking bailing on you. Like
keep your fucking schedules. Like we made this plan literally as soon as the
gonna
release
be
announced.
2
But
weeks
it's
ago.
his girlfriend's mom's birthday.
Like that's some bullshit.
Girlfriend's
Dude.
mom's birthday. What
That's
the
some bullshit.
Cheyenne? If you asked me to go to your mom's birthday, I'd be like, fuck no. Unless they're
I would
paying for
never
food and
ask
it's
you
only like
to.
an hour.
Unless you're getting like a really good free meal.
I would do it, but I'd be like, okay, we have to leave after an hour, like
I'd be like,
every
I
other
can't.
like.
Not
event
even we
like
have to
this.
leave. You can stay. I'm going to leave. You have
I
fun.
have
Exactly.
obligations.
You can tell your
Right.
family I gotta go to work or something like that. I don't give a fuck. But like,
Dude, when I go to my own parents, I make an excuse after an hour.
Yeah.
And leave.
yeah, that's I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't hang out with my own parents for an hour, let alone fucking.
It's gonna be so fucking awful. But maybe they'll be awesome. Maybe we can find somebody from the Kind of Funny clan.
That'd be
Go
cool.
on their fucking board.
Maybe you
and be like,
could like you go on their Reddit. There's
Fuck
like
it,
a
I'll
mega
go.
thread about it.
I'll go right
Um,
now.
Also,
But-
we just fucking put Caleb on blast.
Yeah, fuck
Sorry,
you.
Caleb.
Fuck you. We cut your episode.
He's
you
never
piece
gonna
of
watch
shit.
this anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, he definitely isn't making it 42 minutes into this fucking podcast.
Does anyone have a Reddit account that they can try to squat up in here?
I do not have a Reddit
I
account.
do.
I am
Just
allergic.
saying.
Go in here and find a person.
Don't say don't
I'm like the one right now.
don't yeah, never mind. Cheyenne, you've been playing Overwatch. How's the new Junkertown
Yeah.
stuff?
Junkertown's cool. It looks a lot like TF2. It reminds me of like a couple different TF2 maps, which is interesting. It made me want to play TF2. But I've also been playing the new Diva and the new Mercy. At first, I actually kind of hated Diva just because I was completely not used to it. But I've gotten more used to it now, and I still love her. I'm gonna play her all the time. I'm pretty garbage at the new Mercy. I'm really bad at like timing. Yeah, it's out. So I'm really bad at like timing my reses now and like deciding which person to res, and then like now I don't know the right timing for my ult either. Like, okay, do I want to just make sure that I'm healing everyone during like a team fight, or like are there too many people there that they're all gonna come after me? So I don't know. It's been fun. I got used to Diva. I still am kicking ass with her, so I'll stick with her and practice my Mercy. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the changes. There's, and Junkertown's cool. It's fun. It just looks a lot like TF2. So.
Cool. I want to jump in. I watched Cheyenne play a little bit. The color palette in the Junkertown map is like really like brown and like and stuff like that, and it looked really
super
weird.
Saturated too.
It looked really weird compared to the rest of the maps in the game, which are all like very bright and colorful.
The colors, yeah.
Yeah.
David, you've been playing Steam World?
Steam World Dig 2 came out last Thursday. I am playing it for a review right now. I'm about 3 hours in. It's great. Great game. Fantastic. Really well done. It's a Metroidvania on the Switch. It's also on PS4 and PC. Essentially, it's like got a kind of a cube digging. Everybody's seen it a million times. You're Teambot, and you're looking for Rusty. He's the protagonist of the first game. He's gone missing. And you basically, there's like a hub town. You dig down and you find fast travel points that lead back up. Your lantern starts to run out of fuel, so you have to kind of like balance the, am I going to go back up now and try to fight my way through everything I've already done, or am I going to push forward and try to find a fast travel point, which I really like that balance of gameplay. Lots of really cool upgrades, beautiful art, beautiful music. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So if you guys are looking for a Switch game, I've been recommending it. and now I can safely say that it is actually great. So if you want something like that, fantastic.
Cool.
Would recommend.
Cool. Well, that's what we've been playing for the week. Yeah, we'll talk about some new stuff next week. I'm gonna try to play Dishonored this week. That's the Death of the Outsider DLC.
Cool.
I still need to play the core game before I get into the DLC.
Yeah, Cheyenne's playing their
I'm
Dishonored
excited.
too, and man, that game's good.
Yeah.
It is good.
I'm watching her play some of it, and it's like, wow, that game's really cool. Now that brings us to the Which is Better segment. I thought about doing was just being like, which is better, NBA Live 18 or 2K18?
Yeah,
and having none of you guys answer it, which would have been funny. But then I just thought of something really generic, which is better, Halo 2 or Halo 3? Aaron?
I'd say Halo 3.
Cheyenne, have you played 2
Nope.
or nope? All right, I didn't think so. But David?
3.
3. I think 3 is better. I think this is like a common opinion among people of our age, but if you're 5 years older than us, I think you say Halo 2 is better.
I don't know.
Because I think
think
Halo
3
is so
improved on
fostered
everything
around
that-
like 13 to like 15. It's like whatever age you were when that Halo came out, or whatever Halo came out when you were that age is the one you like the most.
I thought Halo 3 was like a huge deal though. Like, wasn't that game?
Like it was,
Yeah.
but like I think people like thought that one was worse than 2 was a general consensus around people older than us.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like it's just like we don't like Halo 4. But I'm sure
I had
people
fun with Halo 4, but
people-
it's not as good as 3.
people younger than us probably like Halo 4 more. And I play
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit
actually
Halo.
true. My cousin is
So
like, I
weird.
think his favorite one is Halo 4.
Exactly. Like I feel like Halo is such like
There's an objectively right answer here though, and it's 3. So
Yeah.
like
I don't
fuck
know.
off.
Like why? I'll argue for 2. Why is 3
Because
the best?
2's dual wielding and shit was just lame. Like it was fine, but like compared to 3, where they really
2
like
has the best multiplayer though.
tuned the no.
Which one did we play at the arcade bar?
2.
Okay.
What makes the multiplayer in 2 better?
Like the best multiplayer maps in 3 are the maps from Halo 2.
Valhalla's
it's not.
fucking awesome.
Valhalla's
Well,
from Halo 1.
Yeah, that's an old map too.
Like what the fuck?
What?
Yeah, it is.
Valhalla is 100% an old map, yeah.
You're thinking of Blood Gulch.
Isn't Valhalla like a remake of Blood Gulch?
Yeah, it's like exactly.
'cause it's
Valhalla
also in
is in Halo 1, 100%. Look it up.
Okay.
Like
I know
me,
what you're saying. but
I'm
I-
that
it's not
confident
true
because
it didn't
Aaron
have-
had the exact same. Like he knew exactly. What I
I'm
was
looking it up right now.
saying.
What about Lockout? Was that from 2?
Lockout? Yeah,
The
Lockout was in
snowy
2. Yeah,
arc, I
that
don't
2
know.
was that was in 2. Like yeah.
Yeah, but 3 improved on the gameplay so much that like having the maps is just an improve. It has the best of everything. It has the best maps and the best gameplay, and it's got those cool power.
Low key.
Throw down
Low key.
Valhalla is a spin-off from Blood Gulch, confirmed.
spin off. It's
Alright,
different.
it's exactly the same. Low key. Halo Reach is like fucking real good.
I liked Reach the most.
Reach was awesome. I played the
honestly.
multiplayer in that one.
That's something we didn't talk about. Reach is really good.
because I
Multiplayer
really
Reach
liked
is-
the customization.
Multiplayer in
option.
5 is pretty good, but the story it sucks. The story in 2 also sucks. The story in 3 is awesome.
Yeah, my
Story in
cousin was
3
like
has
a
some of the
huge-
best missions.
fan
I
of
agree
all
with
of
you
the Halo
guys. That
games.
3 is the best.
Hates
but
Halo 5.
The
Really?
story is terrible. I thought the multiplayer in it was fantastic,
Yeah, he loved the multiplayer.
but the story is like god fucking awful. I played like an hour of it, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get the fuck out of my face, Locke. You suck. It was like terrible. The characters.
Yeah, he said you play Chief for like, I think it's like one mission at the end of the
Oh,
game
so
or
bad.
something.
That's
So
terrible. What the
yeah.
fuck were they thinking?
Well, I mean, they killed Cortana in 4, so that was a mistake. I feel like.
Killers.
Yeah. But yeah,
They
that.
They just moved
So
her
we're
over to
saying,
their
I
fucking
agree with you. Halo 3 is the best. I really liked Halo 3. I thought the gameplay was fantastic. I thought like that is what a Bungie game is to me is Halo 3, as opposed to. And I did like some of the maps like what was the one map? Fuck. The pit was new in Halo 3, right? That's like my favorite Halo map.
Yeah, the pit was
Oh,
awesome.
yeah,
That's the one we always played when we had like
Oh.
private games with friends.
The pit
I
was like
played
my
that with
favorite map.
Our middle school teacher, we played on the pit. He always wanted to play because he was like a fucking Xbox fanboy. Yeah, we always had like
Oh wait, are you
score
talking
settling
about
matches on the pit. Yeah, the
That guy.
computer. Fuck, I can't remember his name.
I don't remember.
Plus
his name either,
the
but I know
like
who you're
custom
talking
games in Halo 3 were so much fucking fun.
They were,
Yeah,
they
but
were
we're-
bringing out a lot of them too, like actual like not competitive things, but like they like rat race and stuff like that were really fun and
Like
fucking-
Zombies was so fun.
Yeah.
Freaking
Griffball.
Juggernaut was cool. Griffball was awesome.
Why can't they just make like a Halo remix of like the new Forge,
did.
all the best maps?
It's called Halo: The Master Chief Collection.
No, that's a fucking bullshit. That segmented the community too much. You need one
They did.
game with the core gameplay of 3, and then all of the improvements of the other games,
It's
and put them into one game. It's
I,
just
I would, if Master Chief Collection was on PC, I would buy it.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
They really need to. If they brought 3 to PC, everybody would fucking flip out.
It'd be cool. I think they might do that next generation.
I bet they do.
Stay tuned. So yeah, but that brings us to topic of the week, and we were talking about the Destiny raid earlier. And so
let me
all right,
spill
you go for it.
I was like hyped for the raid. I knew how hard it was going to be because we did not raid in Destiny 1. So I looked up, I watched some of the streamers.
Let's be clear. Hold on, pause this for a second. We didn't raid in Destiny 1 because you didn't buy a PS4 for like a year after launch.
Well, you guys didn't raid, and you could have. So yeah, we
didn't have. We had
there
three
was 3
people.
of us playing the game. Yeah.
Like if
Okay,
you had
fair
had
enough.
it and Drew had it like on time, like we would have done that. We could
Fair
have
enough.
got
Well, we didn't, and then that's
Alright, so it's
not,
your fault.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just
saying
we
it's your
didn't raid.
fault.
So I was preparing. I was like, I'm gonna watch some of the streams. I watched this guy on YouTube, Eric's. He's pretty cool. He's got guides and stuff. And so I watched some of his little walkthroughs. It was like 10 minutes long. Kind of broke down some of the mechanics. I tell CJ this, and he flips the fuck out. He's like, "Why would you ruin the raid? I wanted to go in blind." And I'm like, "You don't understand how long it would take us to figure out these fucking nuanced mechanics. It would take hours just to figure out what to do." Doing it is going to be hard enough, even when we know what the fuck is going on. It is going to take hours. We may not even beat one encounter. And you freaked out on me saying,
I think you're overhyping that difficulty.
To a degree, I agree with CJ. Like, I would like to at least try some progression before we looked it up, and then when we were getting fucking stomped, we should look up a video. But like, I like to go in blind at least initially. That's what progression is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look up every before you play any game, if you look up the answer to the puzzle, it is the same. How is it not the same?
On the other hand, though, I agree. I understand where David's coming from, is because like as someone who's like we played WoW together,
you didn't
and like
progression
it's the
rate
same
in
thing.
WoW, did you, Aaron?
I did in Legion for a little bit.
Fucking
before,
terrible. It's fucking, you would rip your hair out. It's fun. I know how terrible it is. And the difference between me looking up all the answers to like a puzzle game that's like The Witness or something, and me looking up the answers to a raid, is that the hard part of a raid isn't figuring out what to do. It's
Alright, so if
figuring
it's
out
not
how to
hard,
fucking
then
do
why
it.
didn't we fucking do it?
You're not understanding what I'm saying. Figuring out the solution.
You just said
is
it's
just a
not the
pain in
hard part
dick.
of the raid.
It's trial and error, is what David's saying. Like, it literally is. You just
It's a
have to go
waste
in and
of
get your
time.
dick slapped like 100 times before you figure out
Then
what to
playing
do.
most games are a waste of time. All games should just be fucking blocks.
No,
and we
because other
shouldn't have
games are
any-
designed for you to figure out the
is-
answer with
It is different for like a raid style encounter. Like, it is a little bit different. I agree that we should try it at least once or twice without a guide and then maybe look it up. But having a guide is definitely something worthwhile for this situation, just because the sheer amount of trial and error that goes into something like this would literally take us hours. David is not wrong.
No, I think
Because it's like the
David is wrong.
first time you figure it out, it's like, okay, we figured it out. And then every other time you do it, it's just, we got to figure out how we're going to get everyone coordinated on doing this.
Yeah.
I'm just cutting out that first annoying part.
How is
this
that
is just
annoying?
with
That's
6
part of the
people.
game, I feel like.
Coordinating those 6 people to do these like raid mechanics that you don't even understand, though, is going to be a nightmare. And like,
Right, that's the fun part, though, is finding out the raid mechanics.
I
So
agree.
even if we don't get done with the raid, like at least we can be like, we figured it out.
You're right, and that's what I'm saying is I think we should try it at least a few times, and then instead of spending all night not getting one
Well,
fight
David
done,
has ruined that for us.
maybe look it
so
up.
we can't.
I mean,
won't
not
say a
necessarily.
fucking
All he has to
word.
do is keep it
No,
to himself.
no, that shit's stupid. Because then we're like doing it, and like you're being quiet, and like I know you know the answer, and
What
like,
if
we're
I
jumping
just
around.
act like the Dora the Explorer hint? And I'll
Like
just
that
be
shit,
hey,
yeah, that's
why
what I'm
don't we
saying.
try-
I feel like you're a fucking like treating you like a
Yes.
3-year-old. It's like real annoying.
That'll be fun.
I hate
I'll
that.
patronize the fuck out of you the whole time for being a fucking stubborn ass.
What's gonna happen is like David's gonna just be barking
I was
orders, and we're
gonna
gonna
raid
burn
lead.
through it.
I was gonna fucking
Exactly, like
raid.
that's why I don't like. I wish we would have figured out as a team, as a true fire team of
Oh
guardians.
my
David.
god.
This is terrible.
There's always a raid leader.
Guardians.
Everyone has a fucking raid leader. I did this in WoW. Like I don't. It's just my fucking habits, I guess. This is how I
David's
did
like,
it.
fuck, he was triggered by the word raid and just fucking dove
I
down
was
this
like,
rabbit hole.
I gotta get my shit together for this. I want us to succeed.
Like-
I had it in my head who I was gonna break up in what section. I was like, oh, this will be perfect. This will go really well. I know who to put where. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
But
hard
is
with a
that,
random.
like, I don't think that's exactly fun.
I see what CJ's saying. It's
I
not fun to just sit and blindly follow orders. Like, it would be more fun if we were actually progressing.
We're gonna work. I'm not just gonna like literally be like shut the fuck up, don't talk. Like
Wait,
I
no,
want us
no,
all to
but, like,
figure
it
out
would
what
be
works
fun if, like,
best.
I
Well,
was
no,
on one
but-
side of the thing, and like I'm like I can use my arc grenade over here, but then Caleb came over and was like, "Well, no, if you use a void, that's even better." And I'm like, "Oh yeah,
That
man,
won't
you're
happen.
right.
I
That
don't have
won't
the
happen."
fucking
The whole thing
answers.
is I'm like, David, Alpha Team Bravo 9-5 to the Alpha. Go to the
that's
elevator
not
I
now!
have a very tertiary understanding of the mechanics. I don't know all the ins and outs of these
I don't
encounters like
believe
you
you
think
at
I
all.
do.
You're now. See, this is you being condescending towards me
You're-
now. This is you being like, oh, I don't know
I
what it
watched
is.
one fucking video that's like, this is how it works, and
Like-
then just figure it out.
Think about how much fun we had trying to progress through the Nightfall when it first came out, and that we didn't know shit going into that. Like we literally had to just figure it out. And as we did, we
No, that
got
would have been
further
like
and
us
further.
not knowing that the rings even existed or something. Like they were invisible, and then we have to fucking figure out where to. Like this is way more archaic than that. That is literally what you need to do is laid out for you. We just were figuring out how to do it, and it was still fun. We knew how to do the Nightfall. We had to kill things and go fast, but doing it in a way that
Like
made
Sonic,
sense and
too.
worked was the fun part. That is how the raid is going to be, because we'll know kind of what to do. I'll have like an idea of how we should progress, but us actually getting in the right places and doing things in the right order is going to be the fun of it. Just
I
like
think
the Nightfall.
you're downplaying the guide a little bit. Because going in with the knowledge ahead of time is definitely going to make a little bit more of a difference than I think you're letting on.
don't-
But
You're
We'll see how it
saying
goes.
you can't have it both ways, David. You're simultaneously saying like it's not gonna affect us that much, but then like if I hadn't done it, we would have had a miserable time. So
Yeah.
obviously it
Probably
is
You
gonna
probably
affect us.
would. Let's be honest.
I sympathize with what you're saying, but I don't want to do it that way. But in the future, I won't fucking look anything up. If you really want to do that, that's fine.
I think that would be the and not only that, it like creates like not like a team dynamic more. I feel like between all of
Here's
us
a
that we're
fun-
relying on each other as opposed to just the person that knows.
I
what
did.
we're
I
doing.
know nothing about the last boss at all.
I mean, we're
know
not going to get there
nothing
tonight,
about
so
it.
it's
I know,
probably
but
not
when we
gonna
get to Callus, I know.
Also, I want to
nothing
be
about
clear that I don't even know his name. You ruined his name. But
Shut the fuck
I'm
up.
just
Oh my
fucking.
god.
I'm just fucking with you that time. But
it. I know you are.
I also like. I feel like the what the fuck was I saying? Shit. The fucking damn it. I fucked up. Whatever.
I also
Damn it.
think we're going to do better than we think we do. 'cause
Oh,
we're
I
all
think
pretty
yeah. No,
prepared.
no, no. I think
I disagree.
I think no. I think you guys are all
I
overstating
explained
how
the
hard.
encounter
like-
to Cheyenne,
yeah.
she's like, you guys are fucked.
You guys are not gonna have a good time.
I think no. I think fucking.
I think CJ and Caleb are going to have the worst time at first because they're not used to this
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, you guys are probably gonna get really frustrated.
Oh my god! I
I
like how
won't.
you're all treating me with fucking kid gloves. This is fucking.
I'm
annoying.
telling you, like
You're
it's
not-
not the same as
no,
what
that-
you're used to as far as
that's
like a
not what
boss
I'm
fight.
I
saying.
don't
This
think
is only
that-
an in and out 20-minute thing. This is like
I think this
4
is
to
gonna
5
be a
hours.
lot easier than we're letting on, and I think we'll get to the.
Also, we're over prepared for this. We're all like 290 with fucking
yeah,
like,
it's
Rat
like
Kings and
discussing how
Merciless. Like
well-
we'll be
Well, that's
okay.
Here we are, but yeah.
I think you're all
I'm just-
overstating how hard.
It all depends on
I'm
how the pipe
worried
goes.
about the teamwork aspect of it.
It has to be perfect.
I'd say the shittiest part about us going in is the fact that our group is like fucking 50% hunters.
Is it?
Yeah, we have like it's me and David, the rest hunters, you a warlock.
We only have one more left.
We'll have to not get a
Oh.
hunter. When I put up the thing, I'll be like,
Yeah,
no
just get a
hunter.
warlock.
We need a warlock, yeah. Because then
Looking
if we
for a
split into
warlock.
teams, we'd have a healer for multiple teams, pretty much.
We're not even a
Okay.
healer. You can buff damage too. But Cheyenne, do you ever use game guides when you play games?
I use game guides all the damn time because
For-
I'm bad at games.
for what kind of stuff?
Well, obviously not obviously. I use like walkthroughs for difficult games for me, like puzzly games, like Zelda games. I tend to use walkthroughs because I'm really
Like
bad
the
at
dungeons and stuff.
dungeons, not like other stuff. But like I started looking up stuff for like Persona 5. Like obviously I looked up the classroom questions
Yeah, I looked
because
that
I
up,
wanted
too.
to get all of those right. I don't know, and it's for games like Stardew Valley where there's like a shit ton of things. Like
Mm-hmm.
one of those games where you have to have the wiki up like at all times if you
Yeah,
want.
Stardew Valley. I feel like it's like Minecraft, where like
Yeah,
the game
and
doesn't
like
tell you.
Terraria.
The game doesn't tell you exactly how to do every
Right.
single thing.
Yeah, so like
Um,
those games, I'll always look up like the items and like crafting stuff. But
Games like that, I feel like that's half the fun of it, though, is like finding, like doing your research about the game and then finding, oh, cool, I can do this thing this way,
yeah,
and then experimenting.
Yeah,
like
I
other games that are hard for me, like puzzles. Like I'll look those up. I tend to like attempt them. Like I'm just following a guide and not like
yeah,
playing the game on my own. But it's like a supplemental thing.
Yeah, there's adventure games where it's like it's like the running joke where it's like use the fucking the fucking potato and the light switch, and that's how you
Yeah,
like,
point
that
and clicks
shit,
I definitely need.
that
to
shit
see.
is like I'm looking up a guide.
Grim
after.
Fandango.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
We
that.
read the guide.
Stuff.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
There's a
Like,
lot
even
of
like
Broken
some stuff in
Age.
Broken
Double
Age,
Fine.
like yeah.
Yeah, I had to look up.
I'm about to play
Um,
Thimbleweed Park.
Yeah,
so that
I'm
should be-
sure it'll happen in the Thimbleweed Park.
Broken Age is
Also,
awesome.
in like The Witness, I didn't use a guide for any of it until I got to the bird part with the chirping, because like, I'm
yeah.
like tone deaf, and
Yeah,
like I can't.
wouldn't be able to do
I
that
could not
either.
understand like how that was working, so I was just like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
doing this. And it
Dude, there was a
was-
part like that in Year Walk that was some of the most frustrating
really?
shit.
I
It was
did-
so annoying.
I didn't like, but like the way, I don't know how your walk works, but the way The Witness does it is like at first it's just like a bird going like ha, ha, ha. Like those are all like I
Yeah.
can't hit
Like
those.
high and low.
But it's
Yeah,
high
it
and
does.
low. But
Yeah.
then later on, like the farther you go away from the beginning part, where you get closer to like the sea, and then they mix ocean noise in it, and
Yeah,
like
they add a
other
whole bunch of other
fucking
noises.
animals and shit like that. And it gets to the point where it's like a cacophony of sound, but you're supposed to like find the bird within it. And I'm like, fuck
Yeah.
this. This is over.
I didn't have any problem with that.
I could not.
Well,
do that
you're
shit.
you're better at like sound, I think.
You're a better sounder.
Perfect
You're better
pitch.
at sound.
David Morgan, Sound Hunter 2017. But yeah, do you use game guides, David or Aaron?
No, never. Oh,
Oh, Aaron. Aaron's
It's
like,
my battery.
Aaron's like,
Every
no.
like 10%, it's like you're gonna die.
Yeah, mine doesn't.
So you never use game guides, really?
me?
Not
No.
even for Destiny. Progression only.
Are you? I can't tell if you're being serious. Like you're not being serious.
You talking to me
I think
or
he's-
Aaron right now?
Yeah, David
You.
Morgan.
I do not use game guides.
You
That's
never
literally
like,
just a lie. I can think of one
Well-
instance where you and I used a game guide together.
Oh, in Majora's Mask? Yeah, because we were trying to get all the
what
masks.
the fuck are you talking about? That's a game guide, motherfucker.
That's a game.
That was like forever ago. That was
You don't
that was
use that-
like now modern
So?
games that I play like today. I don't use guides.
Well,
Yeah,
you
but
might not use
I'm
guides, but
playing
like,
Majora's Mask today and using a guide.
I think we need to define game guides too. Like if you look something up on your phone for an answer, like is that using a game guide?
yeah, that's using a game guide.
That's what I thought. I feel like everyone does that.
Okay,
Yeah.
very occasionally.
Like
yeah,
you
but
want to
I'm
know where the
fuck this.
fucking the fire cat armor in fucking Witcher 3 is.
Oh yeah, okay, I guess so. Yeah, because like
shit
in like
that. Yeah.
like when I'm trying to get like a
Yeah.
platinum, like in Horizon or something, I'm like I'm not fucking
Oh,
looking.
yeah.
Well,
for
not
all
even a
these
plot.
goddamn-
Like, and then you can also like you watch a bunch of
I
streams
use
of
Platinum
Binding of
Guides all the
Isaac.
time.
So like, and they tell you strategies maybe or something like that. That's like akin to using a game guide, isn't
Eh.
it?
Debatable.
I think it's.
I watch that for
exactly
like
the same.
entertainment
Well,
commentary.
no, but
on-
like not only like, but
Yeah.
you like
you do
not,
learn a lot about the game.
Yeah,
I think
that's
the term game guide implies that you're using a guide for the purpose of getting through the game. Like looking up guidance, I think is different. Like looking up where's this armor in Witcher is not the same as reading a guide to get through a game.
Yeah.
there's
I
some
think
there.
looking up like answers to puzzles and like
So
I think
things like
Cheyenne
that.
put it the best, saying it's like supplemental. Like you'll occasionally
Yeah.
pull something up and be like, okay, cool, now I know that, and then I'll put it down and go back to the game.
following a guide like word for word is not fun.
following a
Yeah,
guy
now
word for
walk
word,
through
I
this.
agree with that. Like
Okay.
you're just you're playing the game, and then you look, and then it's like like that's not fun unless you're doing like a platinum run where you like
yeah.
Uh,
I'll use those for platinum.
But what were we wait? I think like using it in Witcher to be like, where's the catfish armor? And
Yeah.
then you go. I want to think what the fuck it's called. Is it just the cat armor, the cat school armor? Is
It's
that what
like
it is?
cat, bear, wolf.
Yeah, I was calling it the fire cat armor earlier.
Yeah, you,
Um,
you went
the-
from fire cat to catfish.
But like
Fish.
looking that up, like that helps you in the game. Like you have better armor now. Like doesn't it? Like I feel I don't know. I feel like that's kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was saying with like there's a difference between guidance and like following a game guide.
So you're saying like for the main quest, you shouldn't be using a game guide.
Is that
Yes
ever
and no.
necessary in modern games? Like
Also, yeah, that like never have I played a
Pretty-
game since I was a kid where I felt like I needed a guide to progress.
pretty
Dark
hand
Souls.
these days. I don't use
No.
guides in Dark Souls ever.
You didn't.
The only
Well,
help I
I
ever
was-
had in Dark Souls was word of mouth, or if I wanted to look up a specific like build.
Well, no, like you didn't look up how to get to the DLC.
No, because I like progress. I don't
You
even watch
fucking
trailers.
figured
for
out how
games
to
that
the convoluted way to get to the DLC where you have to fucking blow on the conch shell and
No,
fucking
no.
go to a railing
That was
and
told.
sit on it for
David
5
told
minutes.
me that, but like I
And
had the
David
DLC when
looked
I
that
bought
up.
the game.
That's
I
exactly
knew about
the
that
same.
before I
Zara
played the
probably
game.
saw that on the internet without looking it up. He probably just ran into it.
Well, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no
Yeah.
one's actually fucking going out to their local 5th grade book fair and fucking getting an actual game guide. Like that's not happening.
No.
Like you just.
I did have. I had a physical like game like guide for Donkey Kong 64 to find like all because it's like a.
That shit needs.
You collect all that shit.
To be fair though, with Dark Souls, like they are really good about like hints and clues on there, especially the item description. So like if you had stumbled upon like if we're talking about Dark Souls 1, the Artorias DLC, if you had stumbled across that first like initial item, you could, if you really tried, figure out what to do from there. I feel like you could conceivably find out where to go if you knew enough about the lore and the locations in the game, like you could do it. Sure, it would be hard as fuck and really annoying, but like I think it could be done.
I don't know. Perhaps. But that has been the Current Gaming Podcast episode. Are we calling this one 20 or 21? Which one? What should I
20, I guess.
20, yeah.
Why don't we call it 20.5?
20.5. My name is Charles Blade. You can find me on Twitter at Charles Titha. Aaron, where can everybody find you?
At Aaron M. Weeks.
Yeah. What do you
That's my name. I haven't tweeted in a while except for about Big Brother because I was mad.
Yeah. It was so bad, dude. It was so bad. I would have rather. I don't know. I wouldn't have rather Christmas one. But like,
I would rather like it just anybody but Josh. Like Cody could have won.
Like,
I would have been less mad.
Josh
I think
that much, but like, I don't know.
He just didn't do anything, and he was talking so much shit. Like he did. He literally did.
Also,
fucking
the
nothing.
thing, the Cody winning America's favorite player, like I knew that was gonna happen, but like that doesn't excuse the fact that Cody's like kind of like a piece of shit as like a person. Like he was cool on the show, but like he's like kind of a piece of shit person.
He was just funny as a character because like
yeah,
he was the
funny
only one that like just hated Paul and pretty
but like
much
his actual opinions in life are terrible, and he's like a terrible person. Cheyenne, where can we find you?
I am on Twitter at poopflowers. I've recently had a few tweets that have gotten 4 likes.
Ooh.
So
wow. My Big Brother one.
I'm getting pretty famous.
444, man. Shout out to Jay-Z. Yeah, no, fuck your Twitter. Yeah, Aaron, you had a big 20 like tweet on Big Brother.
Dude, that's nuts for me.
That was a big deal for you. David, where can we find you?
My guy Dave on Twitter and _Morg on Instagram.
For your art.
For my art.
Yep, we'll be coming at you next week. This week, Drew and I are gonna be putting up a bunch of sports games Let's Plays that we filmed, which is fun. Maybe check those out. But you're not gonna, so whatever. All right, bye.